Hello everyone, hope everyone's all well and welcome to a slightly Blackpoolian episode of Beth the Chef this week. Now I'm saying this because this week we're going to be doing doughnuts, the good old classic sugar-coated doughnuts, and for those of you who have not been to Blackpool before, there are donut places everywhere, donut and ice cream stalls. I almost think of it as like a checkerboard between donut and ice cream stalls along the prom and fish and chip stalls. Yeah, good old seaside classics, let's say. I've been here about a year and a half now, and I've not actually eaten at any of these donut places. I know. But what I've seen from them is just standard donuts and rely a lot on the toppings they have. So I thought, why not rely on the actual fillings? Because what makes a cake, what makes donuts better is some sort of gorgeous inventive filling inside, personally. So this week I'm going to show you how to do some raspberry and custard filled donuts, and we're going to coat them in nice ginger sugar but mixed with some toasted coconut. Raspberries and coconut go so well together, and ginger's just gonna push it that little bit further. So we've got a lot to crack on with. Give yourself plenty of time because this recipe does take over a day to make. And let's cook. So the first thing we're going to start off with is our donut dough, because as mentioned, this takes a lot of time to prove overnight in the fridge. So yeah, do give yourself plenty of time. And little fun fact on donuts, they're not actually American, they're actually Dutch, and they were invented by someone called Cato the Elder, and he's a soldier, and these were originally fried donuts or dough balls with cheese and honey called globbies, and I'll put a little picture up and everything. Yeah, they weren't actually taken over to America, let's say, until the 17th and 18th centuries. Where once they hit America, they have become this huge phenomenon that are more sweet, let's say, than savoury now. So yeah, little fun fact. Right, so I've gathered all my ingredients up to crack on with the donut dough. So in here is 250 grams of strong flour. We've got 125 grams of butter. This is just unsalted butter, slightly softened at room temperature. Got about 30 grams of caster sugar. Got good old vanilla extract for flavouring, which will go in the custard later as well. Got to have vanilla in the custard. We got 75 ml of milk. Brain malfunction. Yeah, to be honest, this is just semi-skim milk, but whole milk is usually better. but never go for fully skimmed milk in desserts anyway. I've got my little sachet of fast action dry yeast, and for this we only need 1 sachet. There's 7 grams in this. I've got, it's broken up because 2.5 eggs for this recipe, and later on I'll add some salt, just a little pinch of salt to help bind. Yeah, but the first stage is to activate our yeast, which we're going to do with the milk. So we're going to slightly heat the milk up. You can do it over the stove, but I'm just going to use my chef mic. And basically at room temperature, I usually go for like 30 to 35 degrees. So once you're pretty much there, pop into a clean bowl. Clean fill and leave in the fridge to prove overnight. We'll crack on with the custard. Pop it straight in there. Good little swirl around. It's coming along well. I don't know if you can see that, but it's almost thickened up a bit, and the yeast has formed bubbles, so it's on its way. So for the dough, add my flour into a bowl, and you can use the mixer, slow to medium speed with your dough hook attachment, but if you want a bit more of a workout, or even to feel the dough, sense the forming of the ingredients, let's say, you can do it by hand. So in goes the flour, in goes my sugar, I'm going to mix them together. I'm still going to do the classic yeast to the salt either side. Just to little pinch of salt there. Not for safety, or just to make the recipe secure, let's say, and make sure we're not killing that yeast. Use the yeast. And just mix together with your hands. Whatever last drop is in there. Now obviously the mix is going to look dry at the moment, because we need to add the other wet ingredients. But that being said, you can still see everything coming together. So now I add the eggs. Good old vanilla. And now we've gone from dry dough to quite a wet looking dough, which is where our butter is now going to help. So go gradually, but mix in your butter piece by piece. And once it's pretty much incorporated, we can knead a little on the floured surface. I've got all the butter in there, and there's still little bits, but don't worry too much. One, because we don't want to like over mix, over knead the dough, and two, it's going to incorporate more with this process. So lightly floured surface with your strong flour. And pop your dough on there. And you're probably going to need more flour as you go along because it's quite a wet dough. And you just want to get your air in there. So knead for, well, between 5 and 10 minutes. I'm going to just make sure the mix is coated in flour good before starting. Otherwise it might stick to the worktop, and yeah, you don't want that so much. Right, so I've gathered up everything now for the custard, and yeah, we've got, because it's raspberries we're adding, so more liquid, I've gone for this to help us out. Extra thick double cream. So yeah, and I've slightly reduce the quantities of milk as well. So in here, in the saucepan, there's the pot of double cream, so that's 300 mils, and 200 mils of milk, good old vanilla extract. Now, because it works so well in custard and you get that nice caramelly taste, I've gone for brown sugar again. So 3 egg yolks and 50 grams of light soft brown sugar. But what our first stage is to sieve our raspberries through, just to get the juices out, remove the seeds. Yeah, almost a nice puree to go into the custard. And in here is 125 grams of fresh raspberries. So just with a spoon, little teaspoon, start by mushing them up. Now the idea behind this is similar to the cupcake, well, the muffin episode. Muffins, not cupcakes, sorry. And where we piped in the lemon curd. So in similar way, we're going to pipe in the raspberry custard into the doughnuts once they are fried off. becomes done rushed, you can really get going with it now. Yep. Starting to happen. So like you would with custard, and then again the videos before, sticky toffee one. We're gonna whisk the egg yolks and the sugar up, and we're gonna heat our milk and cream, slowly incorporate. But the little difference here is we just add our vanilla. In the first process of heating the milk and the cream up, we're going to heat the raspberries in within it. I've just used the same bowl that the raspberries were in as a heads up. So yeah, I'm just going to leave it to cool down. When it's cooled down, cling film with the cling film touching the surface to prevent skin forming while it's in the fridge, and refrigerate. Just got my dough here. Been proving overnight. As you can see, it's lovely and big. So what we're going to do now is shape the donuts and leave them just to get to room temperature. In the meantime, I'll get the fry ready and make my coating up, my toasted coconut and ginger sugar. So, depending what size you want to go. And you'll see them almost prove a little bit more in the fryer with the heat as well. There we go. So I've made 15 of these, and yep, just leave them to do their thing, and let's get on with the sugar. Right, so to make the sugar, I've simply got some desiccated coconut, just to cover the small saucepan, and it's going to be lightly toasted. But 2 big teaspoons of ginger in there, just ground ginger. and 4 big teaspoons of caster sugar. I put it in quite a flat dish, because then you can, you know, toss the balls around in there. There. I'm just going over to toast the coconut. We are, so my fire's ready. It's on 140 degrees at the moment. And I'm going to do these in batches. Try and go for 5 each time. We got 15, but it might expand in there. So they're separate from each other. I'm going to give them a little jiggle as they're in there and things, simply so it doesn't stick to the bottom. We also let them do their thing. Every now and then, just use a spoon lightly. They should roll over. And these are quite large donuts, so they're probably going to take about 4, maybe pushing on for 5 minutes. Once they're done and they're nice and golden brown, just drain the excess oil off and coat them generously in your toasted coconut and ginger sugar. I've got a couple here to show you. Now they've coated nicely. So with a little cocktail stick, just make a hole into each donut. Don't go all the way through. Wiggle around so you can get a good amount in there. Some of a lovely custard into piping bag. Now, as you imagined, these are best left kept in the fridge, simply because of the custard, and along with the fresh raspberries in there. And a small hole, and just fill them up. And here we have it, of nice airy fresh donuts filled with fresh raspberry custard and coated in toasted coconut ginger sugar. So spread the word, Beth the chef. Join us next week where we're going to make some nice spiced lamb croquettes, and we're going to pair them with padron peppers and a nice salsa verde, almost like a dipping sauce. Bon appetit!